Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. It is our weekly recap of Below Deck. You know, I love this show. It's been controversial this season because of a lot of drama going on. And I still feel like that drama is still there. It's still there. I want to see how the rest of the season plays out. It's still one of my very favorite shows. But before we get into that, let's get the vibes up. Let's get the energy up. You know, we love to start off with music. And let me know where you're watching from. Drop your elephants and your crowns. We're live on multiple platforms. TikTok. Head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. I will be looking at comments here periodically. If you want to watch from here, fine. Tap the screens, share the live. We are also live on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Kempire Daily on Twitter, and we're live on Twitch, the Kempire. So be sure to follow us there if you haven't. There is individual content coming to the platforms. And again, guys, if you missed our live recap of Selling Tampa last night, be sure to check that out on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Let's get the vibes up, even though poor Fraser, that face. I get it, though. I fell for Fraser in this moment. Let's get the vibes up, though, guys. Move your body, smile a little bit. Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Don't forget to check out all of what you've missed. Look, we understand we live in a world of algorithms where these platforms force feed you what they think you will like. So there might be content that you think you're caught up on. Be sure to check out our page on TikTok. And also be sure to check out our page on Kempire Daily on YouTube. Go directly to the page sometimes because you never know. I think we put out like 4 videos. We had 2 lives yesterday, including our, of course, Tuesday TLC Takeover, where we covered some of your favorite shows on TLC, including Darcy and Stacey, 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, and 90 Day The Single Life. So be sure to check that out. Also, we have a new report about Trey Songz, and he's responding to the allegations that Dylan Gonzalez made on New Year's Eve. Dylan Gonzalez has also broke her silence in regards to what really happened between her and Trey Songz. So be sure to check that story out. That is developing, and I think there is going to be more legal situations that Trey Songz is going to have to face. So be sure to check out that story. And of course, we are working on more stories for the rest of today. But this is our Below Deck recap. As I said before, we are live on multiple platforms, including TikTok. Head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. That way you can have conversations with our YouTube family. If not, that's fine. You're free to watch here. But I won't be looking at the comments as much. Just saying. Just because it's smaller, but also just because it's easier for me to look at the comments on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course, Twitch and Twitter. We're live on all of those platforms right now. I hope you guys are doing well. We are live here from New York. It's a little bit warmer than it's been the last couple of days. It's been frigid, y'all. But today's supposed to be a nice balmy 39. Okay. So at the top of this episode of Below Deck, we, of course, ended last week's episode with Raina and Jake hooking up. Poor Fraser, right? Fraser. I keep pronouncing that incorrectly. Fraser. You know I got a lisp, y'all. And it's a speech impediment. How dare you make fun of it? Either way, guys, you know I'm not. I got a hard exterior, okay? There's nothing you can say that could hurt my feelings. That's not true. I'm sure there's something you could say, but I'm not going to read it. In one ear and out the other. Fraser. He is still my favorite this season. I feel like he sort of fell to the wayside, and we're not getting a lot of moments or funny moments from him. We got it immediately in the beginning of the Below Deck season, but this episode I really felt for him because we know Heather, who I can't stand. I couldn't stand Heather, though, from the beginning, even before the Raina situation, y'all. Even before the Raina situation, I couldn't stand Heather. But when she gave this woman this look, I was like, how dare you? She is the charter guest. How dare you? I can't stand her. I can't stand her. It's okay, Raina. If we don't feel anything for you, that's even worse. You remember with Jessica? You probably forgot about Jessica already. Well, they're going to get another Stu on board. I didn't realize she worked with this Stu for 8 months. There's a difference. When you're filming a show, it's only a few weeks. She's actually worked with this woman for 8 months. So they are probably besties. You know how some of y'all do. You know someone for a couple of months and y'all best friends. I don't play like that. I don't play like that. I've got to know you for years before I say, oh, that's my best friend. My best friends, I've probably known, oh my gosh, the longest? Oh my gosh, how long have I known Joelle? It's been way over 10 years. Oh, way over 15 years. I've known Joelle a very long time. Keisha, I've known for 15 years. Like, I don't call people friends easily. I know some of y'all call me your friend, which I love. I'm your friend in your head. I'm the guy that you talk about housewives and some of your favorite reality TV shows. I love that. That to me is the highest compliment. It really is. Danny says, Kempire, you called it with Jessica. You said she wouldn't last. I also love confirmation. It's true. She was boring. Deborah says, I really feel for Fraser. I do too. This episode, because remember, we started this episode with Fraser, first of all, in his feelings because Jake and Raina are hooking up. And if you've ever had a crush on someone and they end up hooking up with someone else, you understood in that moment what he felt like. Come on, we can all relate to this. I don't care how cute you are or how strong you are. We've all had this moment where our crush hooks up or is dating someone else. And he has a crush. He has a crush on Jake. And I get it. Jake's cute, but you know what? Jake is cute, but he also has like a sweet personality. Like he's not like some of the other Below Deck guys that we've had, like the Deck Crew guys, they're cute, but they're like terrible human beings. Jake doesn't seem like a terrible human being. He actually seems like a sweet guy. Matt says, ugh, the heartache. See? Sheila says, I don't blame Jessica. I mean, I don't blame her either. I'm glad she got off our show. Deborah says, I love Captain Lee calling Heather out was the best. Yeah, we're going to get there. Guys. If you just joined us, we're talking about Below Deck. We already have almost 150 people in our YouTube and Facebook live chat. So be sure to like the video if you haven't already. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. So at the top of this episode, Jake and Raina are hooking up. So we think they're going to go all the way. Jake stops himself and he ends up going outside to be with his true love, Fraser. No, he stops because he thinks about Paris. He's been talking about Paris. You know, his fiance that's not yet his girlfriend. We know he's made her her fiance, which I don't think he should be saying in the public because that's against the law to say you're marrying someone for a visa. Just saying. Just saying. But he ends up not hooking up with Raina. But remember, Raina has somebody too, Issa. Remember Issa that lives in Canada that she met in Mexico? She has somebody too, but maybe they're not exclusive. Maybe they're not exclusive. I don't know. Kaya says that's called being a player, Kempire. I don't know if that's a situation. But Fraser is relieved that they don't hook up. He thought they hooked up. Who knows how long it was before Jake ended his hookup with Raina and went outside to be with Fraser. I don't know how long that time was, but Fraser thought they hooked up. I mean, if it's Hamza from 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, then that's possible. Just saying. But they only kissed and, groped each other, whatever. So they have a preference sheet meeting. They have these new guests. And look, I posted a tweet right before this live saying, I thought it was interesting that we have a Black group of people that are the next guests on the show. And someone said, oh, why? Because Black people can't have money? No, we've had Black people on this show, Black people on this past season that were charter guests. But I'm basing this off of what Eddie said. He said production has been trying to push out a different narrative about what happened between Heather and Raina. That's why I believe that this was all a plot that Todd set up. No, I feel like we're saying that so much lately. That's the only reason why. Of course, Black people have money. I could go charter a yacht. I just like to spend my money differently. Bloop. Obviously, I believe Black people have money. There are a lot more Black millionaires and billionaires than when I was a kid. Of course, there are plenty of people. A lot of them don't want to be on reality TV, though. Let's be honest. Just saying. Yes, LaHeva says, I really enjoyed the retired Navy officer. He was a delight. Why do I feel like he sounded like a Navy officer, right? Is there something that happens when you go to the Navy that you all start sounding the same? I liked his energy, and I like the fact that he invited. First of all, before he even got on the ship, once he got on the yacht, he was like permission to board. I was like, okay, is that what we're doing? Is Captain Lee? Is he a Navy vet? I don't recall. But regardless, it's still his ship. It's still his yacht. Not well. When I say yacht, he's the captain of the yacht. You get what I'm saying. So I liked seeing his interaction. Mind you, this guy spent 30 years in the Navy, but we know he has money. He is in the tech world. Yeah, he went from being in the Navy to being in tech. So no one's sleeping on this man's money. I love Wes's response. And this is why white people, because I know white people watch me too. Shout out to the white people. We talk about race here, y'all. Calm down. This is why it's important for Black people in visibility. I posted it on my community tab about MJ Rodriguez winning a Golden Globe. And I said visibility matters because there are little Black children, little children of color that are seeing this. For those of us that didn't see it, where it matters, seeing Black couples come and travel. I've traveled the world, and a lot of the times I'm the only Black person traveling in these, tour groups or in these spaces. So visibility, traveling like this matters. And Wes's response to seeing these Black couples travel together matter. You saw his reaction to it. All right, let me take a sip, y'all. Mouth is already dry. My God. Why not? Oh, goodness. Guys, look, if we can't laugh about these things together, why not? Why not? I enjoyed seeing Wes talk about that, but Wes was not even just talking about the black couples. He was like, you see him, the wingtip shoes. He's like, that's what I aspire to be. I love Wes, but Wes doesn't belong on a yacht. Wes belongs back on those sailing boats. He's just very laid back. He is definitely from the islands. He's not about this life. And the deck crew is struggling because Captain Lee is a little producer himself. He's like, no, I need them to do it, Eddie. But I think he's also training Eddie to be a captain in the future. Yes, Eddie's so used to doing everyone's job and jumping in. And I think there is a sense where Eddie is like, I enjoy doing all of these things. And being a first officer might be a little boring to Eddie. He probably likes to be in the field. There are people that don't want to elevate to a captain, even though I think he does. But I think even if he was a captain, you would still see him out there doing those things. We still see Captain Lee sometimes jump in. But Captain Lee is like, no, I need you to spend this time learning the jobs that you have now as a first officer, like steering the boat, steering the yacht. So I don't blame him for that. But during the preference sheet meeting, it's important, and this is why I have to watch these shows multiple times. During the preference sheet meeting on Below Deck, Captain Lee, of course, he goes over what, who the people are and what, some of the allergies. They say, Chef Rachel says there is I wrote it down. There is an allergy. Hold on. Yes. Chef Rachel says charter guest is allergic to dairy. So she read that, but she still added dairy. It's sort of like, we were watching Gino from 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, and she's telling I'm vegan and he's still making the eggs because he has no idea what that is. Chef Rachel obviously knows what that is, but I think she just forgot. I think she read something else on the sheet that said minimal dairy, even though she literally says he's allergic to dairy. During the preference sheet meeting. And I missed it when I first watched it last night. And I was like, oh, wait a second. Got to pay attention. So she knew. Sidebar. Chef Rachel's food this week, the conch fritters, the chicken. When she made the chicken, because, she had to make the chicken and the lamb because they had messed up the previous order. That looks so good. It looks so delicious. And then her Scotch bonnet sauce, that looked even more delicious. Okay, I'm sorry. I've sidetracked. I love food, and I have not eaten yet today. Just saying. It's already almost 1:00. Hey, what's going on to my TikTok fam? I see that Thick Nick says, I heard that too. Tabor says, my favorite person. I love that. Okay, let me see. Matt, hey, Matt, what's going on? Matt says, Kempire, no lie, bro. My mentor was a very talented black man that named Hiram, who taught me the trade of framing when I got started. My first roommate was a black man from Chicago who was so talented. Epic. You're surrounded by black excellence. Look at you, Matt. Yes, warrior. Intermittent fasting. That's what I'm doing. I can eat in about a half hour. So I'm going to get off here real quick, right? I'm like, oh, time to eat. Boxer girl, hey, what's going on? She says, I want a bottle of that habanero salt. Chef Rachel's food this week, like I said, you can make food look good, but will it taste good? Based on everyone's reaction to Chef Rachel's food, look, sidebar, especially black people. It was good. Chef Rachel, we need a restaurant. I know I've shaded you before, but look, that's what we do here. Chef Rachel is very kooky. We normally love kooky on our reality shows, but sometimes her kookiness is a little uncomfortable. It was a little uncomfortable, especially when the charter guests were having their moment. And, she was upset. How I am with my food and when it's dinner time. Okay, when it's dinner time, I'm like, all right, guys, I got to go. And then, some people keep talking. I'm like, I got to go. I'm hungry. You don't want to see me get like candy. Both Tauruses, of course. And she's like, we would like to eat together. Can you imagine being hungry and everyone's eating around you and you're waiting on food? I was like, I get why she was upset because she says we were very clear on our preference sheet. But then I didn't like this face, and I'm not sure if it was editing, but regardless, she was still looking at this woman with this face. Heather. You already know, guys, if you've been watching our Below Deck recaps since the beginning of the season, you already know I wasn't feeling Heather. I have not been feeling Heather. But why was she giving this woman this face? This woman was like, we were very clear. And then she made fun of the woman when she went down to Chef Fraser, and she was like, she's not happy. She gave me this face. She wasn't happy because she was hungry. And everyone's eating in front of her. And it's not like the other lady, you know, for the last charter guest who had the grill, and the grill, damn, it looked like a grill though, but she had her mouth wired shut because she was in an accident. I didn't like that moment. Ivy Girl says, I'm not into Heather either. Mexi says, I don't like Heather. Can we just have a consensus if you guys like Heather or not? Janice says, I think Heather can go. What's going on, Janice? Janice, are you working from home again? And Micah says, yeah, Heather needs to fix her face, especially when it comes to the guests. But you honestly, we haven't seen her show her face like this to other guests. I'm just going to say that. We haven't seen her do something like this to other guests. Read between the lines of what I'm saying. We haven't seen her do this to other guests. Just saying. What's going on, Mocha Rain? Mocha Rain, what time is it in Australia right now? I don't appreciate her attitude. Me either. Everyone's not into Heather. Heather's her fake. Bye, Heather. Oh, Mocha Rain says, my thought exactly why it happened. Got it. I hate to be that person, but Heather, we are getting all kinds of signs about your behavior. Anyways, we'll move on. So she reveals, Heather, speaking of Heather, she reveals, you know, I jumped way ahead. She reveals that they found a person to replace Jessica, and that person is someone she's worked with in the past. Fraser does not like that. Fraser does not like that information. And I get it. Look, he's insecure. We've seen this issue with Fraser before, but he really goes into it. He goes back to growing up. Like there is this part of him that is insecure. And that's why he always tries to work hard to be the best. So now he feels as, remember in the beginning, him and Heather were butting heads, and now they sort of gotten over that and they rely on each other and they're besties. Now he feels that, okay, this other person's going to come in and they're not going to be as close. And Heather walks away and she hears Fraser and Raina talking about it. Mind you, Raina does not like her. And she overhears it and she confronts him and she's like, don't you want the help? Don't you want the help? Okay, calm down, Heather. Calm down. Because even Eddie gave her a heads up before telling him. He gave her a heads up. You might want to check in on Fraser about this. He might feel away. She later eases it over and says, they get over it. They get over it. She makes him feel good. She says, you're my right-hand man. This person is coming in to help us. Poor Fraser. I felt for him. That's why he had to be the thumbnail this week. I felt like he was insecure with his relationship with Jake, and then he was insecure when it comes to his job. I put a lot of effort into why I choose the thumbnails, y'all. There has to be a story, especially when we do these live recaps and there are multiple stories going on in the season. There's got to be a little bit of a connection, if I can find one. Not every time there is a deeper story behind my thumbnail. That's my artistry at work. Oh. Okay, Micah says no, because Heather is always making faces with her coworkers, and now she's making faces with the guests. Raina gets called out for it by Eddie. The Heathers says, Heather snapback was too much and probably stress induced. Probably, because remember, they've been down a person for, what is it, like 2 charters so far? So it's a lot. It's a lot, and I get it. I can only imagine what that is like, being in that sort of, service field where when it's not even just regular service, it's like it has to be top tier service. So everything has to be perfect, and they're down a person. Because at least when Jessica was there, she didn't do great work, but at least she was extra hands. At least she was extra hands. All right. So Jake does admit to Paris. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Jake in this relationship with Paris, but he does admit to Paris that he hooked up with Raina and that it almost was more than just kissing. And she seemed she wasn't okay with it, but then she was just sort of like, so their relationship must be somewhat open and they're still trying to find their way in regards to the relationship. Who knows? What I do know is that Jake is naked again next week. Jake, okay. We have to remember Jake is a lead deckhand. Anyone else that was behaving like this, Eddie would have said something. Because remember, he was very judgmental of Chef Rachel. And yes, she was very embarrassing and very drunk. What are the rules for Captain Lee's ship? Don't embarrass yourself and don't embarrass the boat. Jake has done that multiple times. Jake has done that multiple times every time he goes out. Just saying, you can have a good time and not be naked. I mean, I don't mind looking at his booty, but I'm just saying, I'm also very professional. Can we be professional when we go out? Tara says leading on deckhand tease. He really is a tease, isn't he? He's but there are people in this world that like just kissing and hooking up. There are people very much like that and not taking it any further than that. There are some people that just love to kiss people, but won't take it any further. Poor Raina, though. I think Raina really has a crush on him, and I think she was probably in her feelings. She was in her feelings. Raina's going through a lot of emotions this season, and I'm still not understanding if it's the situation with Heather or is it she's just not connecting with what she's doing there. Not sure, but we'll examine that in just a second. Okay. But Captain Lee and Eddie discuss Raina's attitude. And we, for weeks, have been discussing Raina's attitude. Because we're going to put the Heather situation to the side for a second. Can we? I know we can. Maybe the world can't. We're going to put the situation with Heather to the side for a second. Before the Heather situation and her using the N-word, okay? We all were very critical of Raina and her work ethic. As soon as Jake got the lead deckhand position, it felt as if Raina got in her feelings because, first of all, this was the guy that hooked up with her and she, found out that he was engaged and now he's telling her what to do. So her work ethic has been questionable. We've been questioning it since the beginning of the season. Like, there are moments she tries to work hard, but we're seeing the cracks in the deck crew, including Wes. But I said to you before, Wes is very laid back, but too laid back for this field. Too laid back for Captain Lee. Captain Lee's noticing Wes texting. At one point, Captain Lee is like, Jake and Eddie come to whatever they call that. Y'all know what it's called. Y'all remind me in the chat. And he's like, okay, all of this eye rolling, all of this texting, headphones, which I get. You're on a ship. That can't happen. Everything your eyes got to be out. The charter guests are out on jet skis. No one's watching them. Look, we've been watching the show for so long. We knew that was a no-no. The bridge. Thank you, Deborah. Wheelhouse. All right. Bridge. Okay. We'll go with bridge. Look, we know that's a no-no. The charter guests are out on jet skis and they're going out further than they need to go, but no one's watching them. That's not Eddie's job. I mean, it can be part of Eddie's job, but he has people, the deck crew, that are, having lunch. Really? Is that what we're doing? Okay. Hold on, y'all. I forgot to. do that. There we go. Guys, don't forget to get your coldest water bottle. Coldest water bottle holds your water, of course, but keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. Comes in multiple colors, multiple sizes, and they don't just have water bottles on their website. Okay, be sure to check out coldest.com and don't forget to use your discount code of KEMP10. Again, KEMP10 for 10% off of your order of your coldest water bottle. So many of you have been tagging me in your coldest water bottle pictures and that you love your water bottle. Look, it's probably one of the highest quality water bottles I've ever had. It's one of my favorites. You know, I have it every single time I'm live. Get your coldest water bottle today. Head on over to coldest.com and don't forget to use your discount code KEMP10. Don't forget to get your coldest water bottle TikTok. Thank you so much, Jeanette. Jeanette says, okay, love, sent my 1,000 hearts. Thank you. Guys, don't keep tapping your screens. We're talking about Below Deck. Let me take a sip. All right. Rhonda says, Jake sent them to lunch. Well, Jake is dropping the ball. That's why I said the deck crew is falling apart. He sent them to lunch, but you also have somebody out on jet skis. So Jake should have either been there himself watching them, or he should have sent one person to lunch and then had them watch our guests. We didn't want the charter guests getting hurt on those jet skis, even though I think they'll be fine. He was in the Navy. He was in the Navy. Exactly. Tara says, eye on the guests on the sea. Basic. Why do we know this and we're not even on the yacht? And, you know, I think at the same time, I think Captain Lee is being harder on them because he does see cracks in the deck crew, but also he's trying to train. If you've ever trained someone before or you've been trained by someone that you respect, you see that they test. They test you without, you know, a formal test. He wants you to be on alert. These are things that you have to think of. And you remember, I forgot what season it was, and I forgot the guy's name. He was South African, right? Remember when he got pulled off the boat and he got hurt? He almost died. It was actually production that saved his life. That was a very scary moment. These were some good seasons of Below Deck. I have to say, if we had to rate the season so far, this was episode 11. If we had to rate this season so far from 1 to 10, 1 being this is a trash season. Throw the whole season away. 10 being that this has been a stellar season. If you had to rate this season, how would you rate it? Ashton, yes, Ashton. Elephant braid wasn't working this morning. That was a scary season. That was a scary scene. All right, 6 is fair. Look, we're still talking about it. You know, there have been shows that we stopped talking about mid-season. Insecure, Queens. Shout out to Queens. 6, 7, 3. I see a lot of 3s, though. Bravo, you might have a problem on your hands. Even though the ratings are still doing well. Oh, wow. I don't like this season. I stopped watching. 5. It's still a solid season based off of the reaction, but I'm seeing a lot of 3s. I'm seeing a lot of 3s. Wishful thinking of 7 for the entire season. Not enough drama. 6. I don't know if I need drama. No, hold on. I'm not thinking of, someone, hold on. Oh, wait. No, I'm thinking of Ashton. I remember. I'm not thinking of, however you pronounce that, but I'm not thinking of that. I'm thinking of Ashton. I remember. Look, I remember who I'm talking about. Hey, Shan. I've popped in and out of this season. I miss Kate Chastain. Look, I miss her too, but we can't rely on Kate to save the show. Even though I think it would have been brilliant if they brought Kate back as a third stew. Can you imagine? I feel like the season would have just started then, but she probably was busy. Yes, Kate, she was living here in New York, but then she moved down to Florida, back to Florida. So we thought she was returning. Apparently not. Mexi says, I will give the season 7.5. I feel like that's generous. Amber says, not enough beaches and scenery. That's a good point. That's a good point. And that could be COVID. That could be COVID. Who knows? Austin says Kate versus Heather would be amazing to see. That actually would be amazing to see. And it would be amazing to see if Kate and Fraser sort of connected. And I think they would have. That would have been interesting. That would have been interesting. All right. So back to what we were talking about earlier, guys. If you just joined us, we're talking about Below Deck, the latest episode. We're already halfway through the season. And based on what people are saying, it seems mixed in regards to what people feel about the season. I saw a lot of 3s, but I also saw a lot of 6s and 7s. But I didn't see any 8s, 9s, or 10s. Just saying. Just saying. Donna says the decor sucks. Where's Bugsy? Mexi says Chef Rachel was amazing last season. To you, she was amazing because she was a hot mess. She's still a hot mess this season, but she hasn't been getting drunk and, being a mess. Oh, wait, Austin says, I said 8. But Austin, why do you say 8? Tell me why do you say 8? Miss Brooklyn says, hey, Miss Brooklyn, I don't think Kate could be a stew under someone else. But she said the only way that she would return is if her ideal would be to come back as a third stew. So I was taking her words and saying, let's do that. Why not do that? Just saying. That would be interesting to me. That would be interesting to me. So the dinner happens. Of course, I love the fact that the charter guest was like, you have an open invitation to Captain Lee to come to dinner every night that we're here. So welcoming. So welcoming. Bonjour. Bonjour. I need to work on my French, y'all. That's been on my goal list, but I've been so busy. That's been on my goal list. I need to just start using it here on live. Let me take a sip. Oh, wait, I topped them. All right. Before we even get to the dinner, another reason why I can't stand Heather. Look, another reason why I can't stand Heather. Where is it? Besides this face. Heather volunteers Captain Lee to officiate the vow renewal for the couples. First of all, I think that's a cute idea, but Heather did not ask Captain Lee beforehand, and Captain Lee was like, don't do that again. I don't blame him. Do I think Captain Lee would have said yes if she had asked him beforehand? Yeah. He wants to do anything for the guests. He's going to do anything, but he doesn't like the fact that Heather volunteered him. He's the captain of the ship, of the yacht. He's like, don't volunteer me for anything. And Heather was like, yeah. She's annoying. Heather is annoying. Let's talk about this face. So as I said to you before, at the top of the show, Chef Rachel says during the preference sheet meeting that this person, one of the charter guests, has an allergy to dairy. And I said, they said minimal dairy? No, at the top, during the preference sheet meeting, Chef Rachel repeats it. Look, Chef Rachel's not perfect. Of course, she's going to make a mistake at some point. And maybe that's pre-produced. Maybe they wanted her to make a mistake this season because everything's been going too smoothly. Remember, this is a reality show. So, of course, the guests are waiting on their food because she didn't follow those instructions. There was also seafood. Let's not forget about the shellfish. That was the other thing that they got wrong. And the guest was not happy about it. She was like, no, I said this on the preference sheet. And then Heather gave her this face. Heather does apologize. Look, we get it. She apologized. But why are you giving people this face? The guest never should get this face. If anything, wait till you move away. She probably didn't even realize she gave the guest that face. Sometimes I don't understand. You guys always talk about my reactions, especially when callers call in and they say something crazy. And I'm like, do I drop them? Do I run away and hide? Yes, the dinner was a mess. But again, was that pre-produced? Was it meant to be a mess? Exactly, Kate. I was a little bit more concerned. The dairy situation, yeah, you're probably going to have an upset stomach. But the shellfish allergy, I was like, don't play with that. Melinda said the stank face. We all got a stank face, but we don't show it. Look, we've had moments like if you work for someone and your boss says something crazy to you, some people have resting bitch face. Heather doesn't have that. She specifically made that face. As soon as I saw it, I said, no, she did. I was like, no, she did. Elaine says, Kempire, your faces are everything. Micah says, I have to admit, I do have a problem not keeping my face right sometimes. It's hard and I got to work on that. Micah, your face looks gorgeous in your picture, though. I don't believe you, Micah. Janice says the shellfish allergy. No joke. It's no joke. Yes, food allergies are very dangerous. And I have a friend that has some serious food allergies. Like she has a lot of different food allergies. So like, I'm glad I don't have allergies like that. Thank God. Thank God. Because that's scary when you have to be very specific about what you can eat. And that's why as a chef and as a crew, they should have taken that a little bit more seriously. They didn't. But let's talk about the deck crew, y'all. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are talking about Below Deck. We do this every single week. So if you enjoy content like this, be sure to follow me here. TikTok, what do you guys say? Oh, Calista says he was so mad in regards to Captain Lee. Calista also says a third stew, no way, she would not have that. Kate Chastain said this herself. Kate Chastain said this herself, that if she was to come back to Below Deck, she would want to come back as a third stew. And I think this would have been the perfect situation for her to come back as a third stew. And then, look, it will be interesting. I want to see who this third stew is. I thought maybe we would get her this week, but she seems like a carbon copy of Heather. And I'm like, eh. And if she worked with this woman for 8 months, you can bond a lot with a person when you're on the same ship for how many days and weeks? 8 months? So it's like her bestie. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm not that interested in seeing Heather's friend come because you already know how I feel about Heather. Can we talk about Raina? Let's quickly talk about Raina, and then I'm going to wrap this up because you guys already know. I'm like the charted guest. It's time to eat. Time to eat. What am I going to eat today? Anyone else have that issue where it's like, what am I going to eat today? What am I going to cook today? Like, to me, sometimes that's like what the hell am I going to eat today? I need a personal chef. You know, people want cars and things like that. No, I want a personal chef. One day. Deborah says the deck crew is the worst I've ever seen. Damn. Are they the worst? They might be the worst, Deborah. You're right. I mean, we've had some deck crews that have not been great, but this might be the worst. And I don't want to call them lazy. I feel like Wes is on island time. I think Raina thought she might get away with, hooking up with Jake and him being easy on her. But we've called it way before the whole Heather and Raina situation. We've called the Raina situation way before. And her rolling the eyes, I feel, first of all, she rolls her eyes in front of her superior. She did that to Eddie. And I think she did that to Eddie because Eddie is so laid back. And I think a lot of people take advantage of him being so laid back and so, sweet. Tina says Eddie is not a good leader. And I think because Eddie is too laid back, I think this is part of the reason why Captain Lee is trying to put some fire under Eddie to be a better leader. Eddie's great at his job, but now he's in a managerial role, and I don't think he's doing well. Mexi says, I don't like Eddie. Oh, my God. Exactly. Tara says they don't take Eddie seriously, especially if you're rolling your eyes in front of Eddie. If you're rolling your eyes like this, and she does it a lot, and Captain Lee noticed it. Captain Lee was like, why are you the one scrubbing down those jet skis and oiling them? That should be them. So all three of them are out there doing it together. And she looks back and she rolls her eyes after he tells them, after you guys are done getting your blacks. And she rolls her eyes. I wouldn't like that either. If someone I was supervising was rolling their eyes every time I told them to do something. Melinda says, I roll my eyes to keep from cussing folks out. don't know. Hey, Danielle. Danielle says, I don't watch, but I'm here to support. Danielle, I actually think you would like Below Deck. Like, do a deep dive. This season, maybe not so much, but do a deep dive, Danielle. If you have time, you might like Below Deck. I think you might like Below Deck. I know I love it. And I just got into it maybe like over a year ago, before the pandemic. So almost 2 years ago, I got into it. I can literally rewatch episodes of Below Deck. This season, though, I don't know if I would rewatch this season. It wasn't that entertaining to me. And yes, a three-way kiss, no, not that entertaining to me. Laura says she's disrespectful. Shantae says it's rude. It is rude. It is rude. And that's why, I want to be, there for Raina, especially with everything that's happened on this ship. But, and when I say what's happened, I'm also talking about what's happened behind the scenes. There's some stuff that's happened behind the scenes that we don't see play out on the show. And Eddie has talked about that as well. I hope the reunion is good. It will be interesting. I want to see what that reunion is going to be like. Guys, we have almost 300 people in the room. Like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. You're getting daily and consistent content, including live broadcasts like this one, where we talk about a variety of topics. We talk about reality TV, we talk about scripted television, and sometimes we talk about hot topics. But of course, we're always covering everything in pop culture here on the channel. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our texting community at TheKempire.com. TikTok, I appreciate you all being here. Someone else says that, yeah, they too want a personal chef. Yeah, that's definitely goals. Definitely goals, especially like on a day like today. I don't want to cook anything. I still have some leftover chili. I made some vegetarian chili. So I might have some chili today. I know you guys probably don't even care, but I do. Because we're talking about food. We're talking about Below Deck. So Captain Lee has a meeting with Jake and Eddie and says there are a lot of issues going on with the deck crew, and they need to get it together. And it's too late in the season for them to make any changes or to fire someone. Raina is then complimented by Captain Lee, but then she has a breakdown. I feel like we're missing something in that situation. I feel like something happened that we're not seeing, but she says that, she doesn't like the back and forth. One minute she feels like she's doing a good job. The next minute she feels like she's not doing a good job. And she has a little bit of a breakdown, and they're about to fall apart again because Heather's calling her on the radio and no one's answering. Captain Lee, if you've been watching the show, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. Chocolate Chunk says, I could talk food all day. I can too, but not when I'm hungry. Look, not when I'm hungry. Let me check this out. Matt says, order some Indian food, man. Deliver. There isn't a lot of great Indian food around me, unfortunately. You got to go to like Midtown Manhattan for some really good Indian food. Yeah. I love Manhattan for some Indian food. Or go to India, but can't do that right now. All right. Micah says, do you meal prep, Kempire? It always helps when I don't know what to make, although I do have a good chili. I'm from New Mexico, so I'm about that life. Well, you know what it is? I'm moving from eating meat. I've never been a big meat eater in general, so I'm trying to have less meat, even though Chef Rachel's chicken, I was like, well, I'm not much of a meat eater, but that looks good. That looks really good. I don't meal prep. I do need to meal prep, but I'm so finicky because one day I want something, and then the next day I'm like, I don't want that. Oh, man. All right. Let me just wrap this up, y'all. So Raina has a little bit of a breakdown. Fraser finds her. But I think the reason why she's not doing well in the deck crew, because we've had this before on Below Deck, where the deck person wants to really be in the kitchen. She loves working with Chef Rachel. And if she's going to work with anyone, that's the perfect person to work with. And I think she shines in the kitchen. But unfortunately, that's not her job. It would be amazing, though, to see Raina come back in maybe a couple seasons and she's a chef. Wouldn't that be amazing? I wonder what she would be like as a chef. She seems to be very kooky enough to be a chef, because every chef on this franchise seems to be kooky in their own way. So And she would hook up with the deck crew at the same time. I kind of want to see that. I kind of want to see that. I don't want to see that. Let me see. Next week's episode, we're going to see more of Jake's booty. I don't mind it. Jake has a nice booty. However, again, Captain Lee's rules: don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass the boat. Why is he getting away with this? Why is Eddie not saying to him, you are in a leadership role? Stop acting so crazy. But maybe producers are telling him, shut up, don't say anything. This is going to be great for TV. Nothing else is happening. Micah says Raina has potential in the kitchen. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. That sounded a little derogatory. Austin says Jake's butt is cute. It is. He has a cute butt. Just saying. Chocolate Chunk says I'm over it regarding Jake. I like Jake, but the whole theatrics when they go out and they drink, it's like, but I think it's because they don't have a season. Nora says I miss Ben and his shenanigans. I wonder if Ben would have hooked up with Heather. Probably, right? He always hooks up with the Chiefs too. Tracy says I want Captain Sean back because I enjoyed his style when he stepped on for the first episode. Said no one. Sorry, Tracy. Captain Sean was cute for the moment. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of Captain Sean in the season. We only got him for one episode, and I felt like he was testing Eddie a lot. So now I'm thinking Captain Sean would have been interesting to see a little bit more of during the season. Well, I guess you couldn't make him a first officer because he's a captain. Chuck says, I love Ben. Kaya says, no, I'm good with Jake's booty. I can't with y'all. Heather says he might have gone for the moody girl. You know what? Raina would have hooked up with Raina. This season is season 9. We are already on season 9 of Below Deck. And of course, there's Below Deck Med. There's Below Deck Sailing Yacht, which was boring. But I have to get into Below Deck Med. That's the one I have not gotten into. So I need to stop rewatching old episodes of Below Deck and just watch Below Deck Med, because that season did really well last season too in regards to ratings. And this Below Deck is doing well. It's doing way better than a lot of the shows on Bravo, including Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And there is really no crazy drama going on. Chocolate says, bye, Captain Sean. You know what? Elaine says, I like Ben for his style and Rachel for hers. They are unique and a tie for faves for me. I feel like I've seen so much of Ben, though. We've seen way more of Ben than we have of Chef Rachel. So I prefer Ben over Rachel. Miss Brooklyn says, Captain Sandy will take you off. I've heard. Captain Sandy's gone, though, at least for now. No, I was thinking just because Wes would have been a pushover. Damn. All right. Yes. Guys, we have almost 300 people watching. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. This is our weekly recap of Below Deck. I'm going to get out of here just because it's about that time. We've already been here almost an hour. If you're watching the replay of this, I want to know what you think of the season so far. What do you think about what's going on with Raina? Why is she getting so emotional about, first of all, she just got a compliment, but maybe it's the back and forth. Maybe there are other things happening that we're not seeing on camera. What do you think is happening there? Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Thank you to everyone that was a part of the conversation in our live chat on TikTok, on Twitter, on Twitch, on, of course, the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. And of course, thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com. And thank you to our hardworking moderators, even the ones that don't watch the show, but are here to moderate so that we can have a great conversation. I appreciate you all being here. I will see you guys later in the stories. So be sure to check out the channel. If you haven't subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We have the Real Housewives of Orange County recap, and we have Married at First Sight. That comes on tonight. So be here tomorrow. We got at least 2 lives tomorrow, and of course, everything in pop culture. Thank you all for being here. I will see you guys later. Let's get to 200 likes, y'all. almost at 200 likes, y'all. Let's get to 200 likes. Like the video. It's easy and it's free. We're almost at 200 likes. Come on, y'all. We still got over 200 people watching. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad I didn't end yet. Thank you so much, Dr. Payne. So much for always supporting the channel and calling in the other day and showing us where you work. Love it. Dr. Payne says, I don't watch the show, but watch all things Kempire. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Always. We appreciate you. And I think we're almost 2 more likes. One more like. We're almost at 200. We're almost at 200. Come on, someone like, there we go. Thank you guys. I know you're like, why are you guys always asking for likes? Why are you always asking for likes? Because it matters. It matters for our channels. So don't forget. I know a lot of times I watch things and I forget to like it. If you like it, put a ring on it by liking it. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in for our weekly recap of Below Deck. I'll see you guys in the next story. Be sure to check out everything you missed yesterday or this past week. And a new episode of my podcast, Kempire Radio, is now available. So be sure to check that out. And don't forget to rate and review that because that really does matter. And I'm going to take a sip. Get your coldest water bottle today, guys. Coldest.com. Don't forget to use your discount code KEMP10 for 10% off. I appreciate all of you being here. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Bye.